What's up everybody, Wade on Wheels. Today I have the Planet Eclipse 170R. Alright, so as you can see, this is not your typical 170R. I bought it from lonewolfpaintball.com. It was one of their custom anodized 170Rs, so it was already just red on black. It came with the regular stock back and tip, and with the 170i it comes with the infamous back. So this is a Freak XL infamous back. They also come with the infamous tip, but this is a Freak XL ACP all-weather tip. Personally, this is my favorite tip. That's the reason I use this tip. But if you buy the 170i, it already comes with this back, I believe one insert, and then this, or the Silencio tip. That's what it is. That Silencio tip, its claim is it's really good in all weather, so the slits are designed so the water can't get into the slit. Once there's a water along the tube, the paintball will catch it and kind of grab in turn. So it kind of, your paintballs go all over the place when there's water inside your barrel. So the Silencio tip is supposed to keep all water out, but the all-weather tip, as you can see, it has these grooves in it. So the grooves, these grooves allow any debris, any water, or anything to fall down out of the path of the barrel, or out of the ball. So as the ball flies through, it's actually it's going along these rails almost, because there's all these grooves in there. So personally, I like the all-weather tip, the ACP tip, better than the Silencio tip, because this just is thicker metal, it feels better. The Silencio tip, in my opinion, personally, I'm not knocking Infamous because I literally have all the Infamous parts. I like Infamous, but as far as their barrel thickness, it doesn't feel very thick. That's the same thing with this back. So this Infamous back, here you go. So it's got the little skull on it, but it's thin. So compared to an actual Freak XL back, this thing's pretty thin. But, I mean, how thick does it actually have to be for paintball? So, it's functional. It works. It's just, when you have one in your hand and the other one in your hand, the stock one feels a little better, but this one will work. Something that I did notice, the skull doesn't line up with the gun. You would want it to be straight up. It doesn't line up no matter which way you put it in. I have tried so many different ways. I have tried with a O-ring, without an O-ring. It doesn't matter. It doesn't line up. So that is something, if somebody has the 170i, because remember this is just a 170R with all of the stuff on it, not an actual 170i, let me know if it matches up. Maybe they have different backs, but mine doesn't match up no matter what I do. And it annoys me a little bit. But as far as the lasering, I did this lasering myself. I have a laser engraver at my work. I'm a CNC machinist. So I did that myself on the eye covers. The regular 170i will have a skull and say Infamous lasered on the kind of the middle to rear part of the gun. I bought the skull cap, so that was pretty pricey, and I bought the trigger. So it, just like the 170i, I have the other ones. So I have the regular trigger and the regular back cap. So other than the barrel tip, the other two things that are different from this gun, from the 170i, are obviously the red grips. So As far as I'm aware, the 170i does not come with any updated grips. It's just the stock grips, the black grips that come on everything. These guys. So I upgraded to the red grips. Personally, I really like the red grips. I think it makes it look really cool. And I also added the soft tip bolt. So in my opinion, that's something that Infamous probably should have put in. They could have thrown in an extra 50 bucks, gave everybody the soft tip bolt, and really actually made the claim to fame that, hey, this is a much, much better gun because just the soft tip bolt and the better barrel. That is the one thing that really makes it different. If you buy the 170i and you do not have a barrel kit, understand that you will get one freak insert, and it is an aluminum insert. I like the stainless steel inserts, and if you want to know more about the stainless steel versus aluminum, I did a deep dive into that, and you can check it out above. Okay, so when you're getting into the 170R, first thing you need to do is hold the trigger to get into setup mode. So you hold the trigger, turn it on. The problem with this gun is you hit the trigger to scroll, and then you hit the button to basically say okay. So if you accidentally miss what you're looking for, you have to just scroll through it again. Okay, so now my presets are Semi 15, NXL 10.2, PSP 10.2, and Semi Infinity. So those are your settings, or basically your firing modes you get with the 170R, 170i. They're the same thing internally. Everything that's different between the 170R and the 170i are just cosmetic. The difference that I have in my gun is just that soft tip bolt. That's like a $50 upgrade. I highly recommend it. Everything else is cosmetic. Like I said, I bought a regular 170R and just threw the deuce trigger on, threw the back cap on, threw the red grips on. I have the barrel back and an ACP tip. So it basically is a 170i, just not officially a 170i. So, because I bought it before they even released it. They just released it not that long ago, and yeah, I already had this gun. So that is my biggest gripe with the 170R, is just its programming style. Is you have to hold the trigger and you just kind of scroll through, and then as you're scrolling through, you also don't have a whole lot of choices. I mean, you have all the choices you need, right? But if you were gonna get funky with it, like my Geo has the 3 buttons. I can go immediately into programming mode whenever I want. I can change every single setting you can dream of. I can take that thing all the way up to ramping at 26 balls a second. I have that as a preset just in case I want to have some fun and just waste paint. So you can't do that with the 170R. So when it comes between the CS2 Pro, the Geo 4, those two guns are just on another level as far as like programming modes and like the capabilities of those guns as far as like the internal programming. Because they're all spool valve, so it's gamma core versus IV core when it comes down to that, and that's all personal preference. If you're looking for a paintball gun and you really like your back cap, barrel, and trigger, those are the things you're going to get with the 170i. So if you're looking at a 170R, you might just be better off getting the 170i because it's going to have the cooler stuff on it, but you will have that Infamous logo, which, hey, I literally lasered one on, so I think it's pretty cool. What are they, 13? I think they're like $1,300, $1,200 maybe. Maybe you just get the Geo. I don't know. No, it's all personal preference. So, but that's pretty much everything you get with the 170i versus the 170R, and then my monstrosity that I honestly think is pretty damn cool. As soon as I'm able, I will be having gameplay of this gun, and I have my Geo that I still have to do videos on. So, plenty of gameplay coming. Make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.